Our topic today is around how can we learn more from our own life? Yeah. How can we tune inward? So I think a good way to start that process would be for all of us to take just a couple of minutes to let go of our day and center ourselves. So I invite you to sit upright away from the back of your chair. Yeah. And take a nice double breath in and a nice exhale out, double exhale. Now, again, let's do this 2 more times, gathering all the physical and emotional tensions that you may be carrying from the day. Double inhale, tense the body, double exhale, and relax. And this time, maybe you could also close your eyes and try and consciously gather all the subconscious tensions that may be lingering in the body or the mind and gather it all with a double breath in. Tense, tense, tense. Double exhale and relax. Continuing to keep your eyes closed, just making sure that your feet are on the floor, relaxed. You could place your palms upward at the junction of thigh and abdomen. And just take a moment to connect with your breath. Just observing the breath as you inhale and just letting go of all tensions and worries as you exhale. Feeling peace as you inhale and even more relaxed as you exhale. Take a few more conscious breaths. Inhaling peace, exhaling worries and tensions. Just bringing yourself fully into this virtual classroom, feeling connected with each other, bringing your mind, body, and soul here, letting go of everything that happened before you came in and all that is waiting for you afterwards, making a mental resolve to be fully present here, taking a little bit of time to be with yourself. Just 1 more minute. Om Shanti, 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 and softly open your eyes. So, first of all, I must congratulate you all on taking this time for yourself. We spend our entire day doing things for others, trying to meet goals and deadlines that others put on us. But it's very important to take some time for ourselves. And why is that important? It's important because we live in a very distracted world. There is so much of input and data and information and demands that are coming to us every moment. If you're running a business, then the business environment is changing so rapidly. If you're a professional, the skills and demands of the job are changing so rapidly. If you're running a home, then the emotions and turbulences of growing children and going about the household responsibilities and all of the external stressors and strains that get at us is it's at an all-time high. And we are just trying to somehow distract ourselves and get on with life. But the reality is that life also gets after us. The more we put away the efforts to work on ourselves, the higher the pile that we have to work on and the bigger the toll it takes on us physically, mentally, emotionally. You know, stress comes to us when we are not able to accept things as they are, and we think that they should be different from how it is. But in the larger scheme of life, we know that life is a school and we're here to learn some lessons. And the faster we learn those lessons, we graduate to higher classes, and you get to college, and of course it gets tougher. So as it gets tougher, what are some coping mechanisms that we can have within ourselves? How can we build that resilience so that we are able to deal with the stresses and challenges of life in a much more even-minded and calm way? It's possible for all of us to do this. And Paramahansa Yogananda ji had a beautiful definition for intuition. So intuition, we always think is that, we have to use our senses and we have to really be able to, in some ways, predict what is going to happen. And we think that that is a power that comes to us when we are spiritually evolved, or, we have some special powers, or some others have some powers and they are able to tell us what to do. So we use the intuition of others. So these are things that we think intuition is about. But in reality, Paramahansa Yogananda ji said that intuition is intuition, which is tuition from inside, from your own life. And that is the most powerful lessons that we can learn. And we are all spiritual beings. We have a spirit, and the moment we are able to connect with our inner self, we can make great progress. We can create great insights for our life and be successful in whatever we choose to do. When we are in tune with what is our real purpose in life and what is it that we want to accomplish. And when we are not in tune with that, then life is miserable. It's full of worries, it's full of stresses and strains. So it's very important to be able to take that kind of a little bit of time to spend with ourselves. Now, you might say, I have a very busy life, right? And we all have, it's a fact. And there is so much going on all the time. But just taking, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes in the morning and 5 to 10 minutes in the evening, so at the start of the day, to set some goals which help you accomplish. So if you got into a, let's say, a taxi to go somewhere, or you're driving somewhere and you take out your GPS for the destination, and you have to put a destination to be able to get a map, a route. And then you'll get multiple routes, and you could go by a faster route, or you could go by a longer route which has less congestion. So there are so many possibilities, right? But for all of that, we need a destination. Similarly, in life and for a day, we need a goal in order to be able to be successful. So if you, like in the morning, make it a part of your ritual to set some goals for yourself. And in the end of the day, track it to see how far did I go. That itself can give you a lot of success and progress. Never look at, what is missing in life. Always celebrate the progress that you've made. And that is what gives you the energy to do more. In my work as a coach, I see so many people every week. And in the beginning, they're always talking about what didn't happen. And I always say that, no, you should stop for a moment and celebrate what has happened. When you do that, then you're able to get the energy to move forward and accomplish your goals. So that's a good practice. Now, there is a saying that is very popular. Yeah, so I see some questions there. We'll leave a little bit of time in the end to take questions. Yeah. So Anne Frank's diary is very popular. Yeah, it's one of the most popular books that a lot of us would have read in our early years. And she says that, and she wrote detailed anecdotes of that time and the struggles she went through in her life. Says paper is more patient than people. And we try to, find a shoulder to cry on. And when you go and do that, what you get in return is a lot of advice on what you should do. But we all know that advice is not something that we necessarily work on. Unless once in a while somebody we trust, we might take a little bit of advice. But if you're able to work with your mind to really go deep into situations and understand and mine meaning out of it, and be able to then see that, what do I need to do with this insight that I have created for myself, that becomes very, very powerful in giving a new direction to your life and achieving greater heights of success and happiness. Yeah. So that is very important. And there is this saying from the American philosopher John Dewey. He said that we do not learn from experiences, we learn from reflecting on them. Yeah. Experiences we all go through. But when you take time to reflect and see what is the lesson I can learn from this? What is the pattern that I am seeing? You start seeing patterns when you spend enough time. Our minds are wired to do that. And if that pattern is not broken, and if it is a negative pattern, then you know that someday you'll pay a very high price for it. So it's much better to break the pattern early on, right, rather than keep postponing. So it's a very powerful practice. Now I wouldn't go on talking about it, but maybe give you a little experience of how can you journal. Now here is the thing: journaling is something that you do for yourself. It's a very personal thing. So you don't have to share your journal with anybody. That is when you can be more honest and authentic with yourself. Yeah. So journal for yourself, keep it in a place which is private. You might choose to journal online, or you might, use a notebook on which you write, and find a fixed slot so that there is some regularity. And don't just make it like a diary. Diarying is different, where you're writing, oh, this happened, this person said this to me, I did this today, I went here today. That's all right. But journaling is much more powerful. It's about creating insights out of that conversation. How did that go? What did I learn? How did I apply? What worked well? You know, so taking it to the next level beyond just a statement of what happened. That's really the power of journaling. So if you have a notebook, or you can open up a notepad online. Yeah, so this could be a good place to start, right? And I just want you to sit back for a moment and just close your eyes. Yeah, just closing your eyes, sitting up, and just take a moment to visualize on the screen of your mind your day today. When did you wake up? How did you wake up? How did you start your day? How were you feeling when you started your day today? And then what happened? Were you able to get a little bit of time for yourself this morning? Or was it a busy day? What did you have for breakfast? And did you enjoy yourself while having that meal? Or was it gobbled up? You don't remember? And then what did you do? Who all did you meet today? Just sifting through. And pick one experience from today that is standing out in your day so far. Just one. Whichever one. It could be good or bad. In journaling, there is no good or bad. They're all powerful lessons. And then just watch yourself in that moment, almost like you were watching a movie. What did it feel like? What did you hear? What were you seeing? And then slowly, when you're ready, bring yourself back, feeling yourself on the chair, and softly open your eyes when you feel ready. Okay. And just pull out your notebook or, you know, whatever you have today, you may be typing, and ask yourself this question. When I look at that incident dispassionately, let me keep aside all my emotions and dispassionately look at it. What have I seen? What happened? What really happened? Just write it down. Freehand, no editing, no grammar, no spellings. Just write what comes to your mind. Or you could doodle something. And then when you feel you've written as much as you wanted to, ask yourself this question. What did I learn from this experience? We come to the last question. What would I like to do differently next time when I encounter a similar experience? Okay. So I'm going to ask you to type in the chat window, how was this experience for you? Yeah, don't write the contents of what you wrote. That's very personal and private to you. But how was your experience as you started to write out? Did it bring more clarity? Yes, I see some comments in the chat box. Insightful, refreshing, creativity. Yeah, we can be very creative with ourselves. We feel lighter, gave me specific solutions, and then all we did was 3 minutes. Yeah, I understood how it cleared my old inner childhood block. Amazing change in perspective, insightful, good feeling and self realization, feeling light, happy, and positive, clarity. Got to know how I was feeling today. That's so important. We tend to forget that. Yeah. Just understood what instigated me, more clarity, more clear, good feeling. Yeah. To appreciate and value, even to attempt not to focus on distractions, more awareness about myself in the moment seems difficult. So I don't want to put anyone in a spot, but if you can put it like a question as to what was difficult, that could be something that we could work with. Yeah. Introspective, but feel some guilt. Yeah. And guilt again is a difficult emotion. You know, it holds us back. So we have to find ways of, and writing is a way of processing it. It's a very powerful way of processing. And a lot of these difficult emotions, I wouldn't call them negative, but shame, fear, guilt, all of these, anger, yeah, these we can work with them by just writing. And if you remember what Anne Frank said, paper is more patient than people. Instead of trying to explain to somebody how they are wrong, you'll find much more clarity when you work with yourself. Yeah. Hey, Uma, I see that comment there. A new lens to view the same experience. Yeah. Felt like powerful. I could manage things better. Habit addicted work I did, even though I didn't want. Yeah. So I'm amazed at the kind of rich and powerful insights that you're mining by just 3 to 5 minutes of time to just pull back and reflect. And this is exactly what happens in journaling. And when you get some good prompts, then it becomes easier to channelize our thoughts. Otherwise, it's running all over the place. But even that is a cathartic process of just expressing ourselves. Because the biggest problem today is people hold on to everything, and that then manifests in the form of physical and mental illnesses and even spiritual illnesses. So we need a way to release, break the dam, and let everything flow. Let the good flow, let the bad flow out. Yeah. And practices like these are tools that we have within us. And you're the best teacher for you. And it's a matter of taking that tuition from the inside. Okay. So with that, then Bara, should we open it for questions?
Yeah, maybe we can take a couple of questions. I have
Yeah.
noted a couple that came in.
Yes.
One is, and you kind of answered it already, but should we write negative things also? But perhaps since you answered, how much should we write negative things, or what is the right way to write about negative things?
I love that question. We all have good days and bad days. Yeah. And on a bad day, we should not shy away from confronting that reality because it's important to process it. Sometimes you have a whole spate of bad days, several bad days in a row. Something is going on, you're having an argument, you're having a fight, or there is a lot of pressure with the project, or the business has gotten into trouble, and you have a whole bunch of bad days. I would say those days, all the more reason for you to write, because when you write, you're able to express yourself. But here's a little pinch of advice from my own life, what I have learned is those are not something that you want to hold on to and treasure. So a lot of times what I do is I write them and then I shred them away. Just tear it into a whole bunch of small pieces. That's also a very good release mechanism. On a really bad day, you can light a candle and burn the paper and mentally also cleanse that from you. Okay, never hold on to heavy stuff in your journal. So write them, express them, but find a way to transmute. Yeah.
There's one nice question in the chat also, how to write dispassionately.
Yeah, that's the key there. It's so easy to get drawn into our emotions. Yeah. And they are dancing all the right time around us. And there are so many external triggers that also bring up those emotions in us. So one thing I highly recommend is if you can do a short, like today, when you came in, I told you to take a couple of minutes to just center yourself, let go of your day and tune in. Yeah. So a good practice would be to do just a very mini meditation to center yourself and lift energy consciously from the heart and bring it up to the spiritual eye, because that also is a process of lifting our emotions and our experience. You know, heart is the center of emotions. All good and bad emotions are seated in the heart. So when you lift it up here, this is our executive center, the prefrontal cortex. It's also the spiritual eye. So this is the place where we can take a call of sorting through, sifting through, and learn lessons and think, and also be creative in how we express and experience life. So that could be a way of, letting it not be just an emotional expression. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Maybe one final question should we do?
Yes.
Someone is asking, for a busy day when you don't have much time for journal, how to write in short? And I guess it could be also, what's the minimum amount we can do in order to make it effective?
Yeah, I think on a busy day, it's all the more important to write more. Yeah, because it just helps you sort everything out and sleep better. So, as Swami Kriyananda used to say this, that on a day when you don't have time, try to meditate more that day rather than skip your meditation, because then you're able to be really in tune and get the right kind of insights. And, we become so efficient when our life is sorted out and we are able to focus and calmly concentrate on the challenges we have at hand. So I would say this, though quite counterintuitive on a busy day. But you have a really tired, busy day where you don't want to do anything, doodle something which expresses your day. Have fun with that. Yeah. And I'm seeing Ratnaji there, who's a beautiful artist. So, you find your way of expression that works for you. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you, Latha. As we said at the beginning,
Welcome.
To the point and very powerful. And I think you gave everyone something that they can start working with already. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And we wanted to also let you know that Latha has actually created a course on journaling, and it is available in our website. I'm going to send you the link right there in the chat if you are interested. And really, this particular course is divided in 4 modules, you can say. First, working with our setting goals, as you mentioned at the beginning, working with energy to build a strong foundation. Then we go into contemplation and self-healing. So there are 23 videos in total, which you can take at your own pace, and you can ask questions and all of these things. And you can do, I say, at your own pace. So if you are interested in going deeper in this subject, the link is in the chat. We will also send you by email. If you would like to review this short but powerful class, we will also send you the record by email. So stay tuned for that. And if nothing else, we are just very happy that you were in touch with us, that you were able to come here. And if we can be of assistance in anything, really, don't hesitate to write to us. And Ananda offers a whole variety of programs, everywhere online. And if you are interested, we are happy to share with you all of those.